Finally, to end this lesson, we will be covering pipe and loft. So to use either of these, you need to create a sketch. So to start off, I'll just make a spline. There aren't many requirements for the spline, but it really shouldn't have sharp corners. And I'll try by creating another shape which has sharp corners. So let me finish the sketch and I'll go to create. I'll have to look down a bit and you can see pipe. Note that this shortcut is not a built-in shortcut. So now with pipe, it's very simple. You just need to select a path and you need to select a distance, section and section size. So let me explain what each of these means. So distance simply determines the extent of the pipe. 1 means it goes through the whole shape and you can change this accordingly. So for instance, 0.5 means it would go through half of the distance. But for now, I want it to go through the whole distance, so I'll leave it at 1. Section determines the shape. So over here you have 3 shapes. Circular, which can be used for, of course, pipes, as well as square, and triangular. And as you can see, it carries the shape on throughout the spline. Let's go back to circular, and I can also change the section size. So let's say 100. Okay, that might be too large. So I can increase it to, let's say, 20 millimeters. And as you can see, it's a thicker pipe. As you saw earlier, when I increased it to 100, nothing came. Now this happens because as you increase this, there's a greater chance of the body sliding. And I can show you how this happens with sharp corners. So if I were to select this path, you can see it works around it, but you can see these sort of edges which may occur and that lead to suboptimal design. So really, when you're using this, you want to avoid sharp corners as much as possible. Now additionally, there's another tool called sweep, and that is sort of a more advanced version of pipe. So let me just go back to my sketch. Edit sketch. I'll delete this shape. I can either delete it or I can just use the trim tool and remove it all. And now you can see my shape is coincident, and that's important here as I finish my sketch. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another sketch and I'm going to create on this plane. I can create whatever sort of shape I want here. So for instance, let's say I'll just create a simple polygon, circumscribe, and let's make it 20 millimeters and it have 10 sides. Now I'll finish the sketch is I can go to create, sweep. I need to select the profile, which will be the polygon, and the path, which will be the spline. And as you can see, it sweeps this profile along the path. And with this, you can create really interesting looking profiles. And again, you can see there's the same distance option, but there are a couple of new things. You have taper angle, which is similar to extrude, but it simply tapers it inwards or outwards, as well as a twist angle. So as you may recall with Loft, you could manually create twists by moving control points, but here it's a lot easier as you simply have to type in a value and it will automatically twist it like that. Additionally, you can change the orientation to perpendicular or parallel, and that simply changes the shape of the sweep. Finally, you can change the operation, and that is the same as any other option. Now you may notice something, as over here it says single trail and path plus guide surface. So this is something that we will be covering later, and it'll come more into play when you're working with more complex assemblies and working with planes. But for now, this is all you need to know about sweep. Currently, sweep may be a limited function as a lot of its functionality comes from being able to create planes and work around other geometry to use sweep. It's not something you may end up using that often, but when you do, you'll be glad you know.